ladies and gentlemen and partners, guests, Mavis. Hello, I must say hi to Mavis. She deserves some attention. Yes, I saw you. I saw you. Good evening, Mavis. So nice to see you. And Rico as well from the Philippines. Magandang umaga. So once again, it's 9 o'clock. So here we go. So for those of you who don't know me or know me so well yet, my name is Sandra Bedard, and I'm a Lifestyle Director 1 with Opulence Global. And on the 1st of July, I will be celebrating my 10-year anniversary with this amazing, incredible company. And I hope to celebrate it with a big bang. 10 years is huge, huge, huge. I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our presenter tonight. Oh, hello. Oh, hi, Rene. So do you want me to introduce you, Rene?
Yes, please.
Short,
Thank you so much. It would be
short
nice.
and
Thank you,
sweet?
Sandra.
Okay, awesome. So our trainer tonight is nonetheless, but Rene Liaw. Rene's entrepreneurial journey began in 2007 when he joined Opulence Global as a side hustle. With exceptional determination, he swiftly doubled his annual income of 80 grand within just 16 months. Yep. Leading him to leave his IT job at a major Canadian telecommunication company. What followed was truly extraordinary. We were so lucky to have him, as Rene achieved a remarkable monthly income of $100,000 with a mere 7,000 individuals in his organization. Today, his team has grown to over 28,000 individuals across 130 countries since. As one of Opulence's top earners, Rene enjoys a substantial 5-figure weekly income and proudly drives a Tesla P90D, sorry, provided by the Opulence Car Club. Yeah. As a dedicated family man, he cherishes traveling the world with his family. Rene recently invested in a magnificent custom-built $5 million home. With his profound dedication and exceptional leadership, Rene is a founding member, shareholder, and valued as advisory board member of Opulence Global's CEO. He has been twice honored with the prestigious President Cup Award. Yep, he's a star. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to LD4, Mr. Rene Liaw.
Okay,
It's
well,
your
thank you so much, Sandra, for your kind hosting. Again, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, everyone on the call. And great to be here, of course. I love to be with my Opens Global family. And of course, more importantly, going over some really important training steps that we call your next 30 days action plan. So basically, when I first got started, again, about 18 years ago, what was really important for me was to have a proper game plan or action plan, as we call it. Because otherwise, you're kind of maybe spinning your wheels or going the wrong direction, which is even worse, right? And so, again, this training here is really designed for anybody who just got started into the business. And again, or they haven't even seen this launch pad yet, then you want to have them, of course, on this call. So please, if you have anyone here in your team that just got started and they have not seen this next 30 days action plan, a launchpad training, then please try to get them, of course, on this call. We still have some time, of course, and a long hour here, or a nice short hour, actually, to be honest with you. Our trainings always go by so quickly. So I'm just going to go and dive right into this. And again, thank you so much to everyone for being here this fine evening. So your next 30 days is really a mandatory thing for yourself to understand, to establish what we call your daily method of operation. In other words, what are you doing on a daily basis for your business, right? What are you doing on a daily basis? Are you doing anything at all? Are you gaining some more knowledge and training, perhaps working on your personal development? But more importantly, are you doing what we call IGAs, which stands for income generating activities? So activities are meant to help you generate income at some point in time. And as part of our CEO's special training called the Forensic Networker, which he might do, of course, on the upcoming Saturdays, you will learn about this little sort of a tracking sheet that you see here on the bottom right that really, on a daily basis, whether you're part-time or you're full-time, you want to be making sure that you're getting to do at least 40 to 100 contacts. What does that mean? It means that are you actually in touch with, talking with at least 40 different people, whether it's via a cell phone call, a phone call, via email, via, WhatsApp, Messenger, text message, Instagram, TikTok, whether it's via social media, LinkedIn. So are you having enough conversations? Because the one thing that I always try to remind people is that in this business, if you can learn to become what I call a professional network marketer or professional business owner, you will never have any shortage of leads, never have any shortage of customers. And how is that possible? It's because, again, if you're only targeting your warm market people, your warm market is always finite. It's always finite, meaning it's only going to be so big. You can only know so many people, right? And on average, if you look at the average wedding invite list, or the average, for funerals or the celebration of life, the average list of people that attend the funerals or weddings is roughly around 300 on average, right? So if you're only talking to the same 300 people, then, no business can run in the world just talking to 300 people. Can we all agree and say this makes sense so far? That it doesn't make sense to run a business, to have a huge business, if you're only going to be talking to 300 people, right? It makes sense. Say it makes sense, please. In the group chat, want to get you more involved here together with me. And so again, this is why it's so important that, you want to put yourself in situations and in events where you can meet more people, do more social things, join more clubs, do more sports hobbies. If you love golfing, join a golf league. If you love tennis, join a tennis league. If you like, reading books, join a book club, right? So end of the day, if you want to make yourself a big business, okay, you want to be able to learn to become a professional networker, which means you learn to talk to people outside of your warm market. In other words, you can tap into the cold market. Your cold market is infinite, right? Infinite compared to your finite market. All right. So diving right into this as well too. So what you want to do and what I did is you can print this out and create a proper work schedule for your opulence business. One of the CEO's training is talking about, having this as a hobby. If you do this business as a hobby, like, when it's convenient or when you feel like doing it, then you're going to earn a hobby check, which means you earn a paycheck sometimes because you're doing it literally sometimes. If you do the business, again, part-time, which means you have like a set number of hours that you will commit to your business, then you will earn back a part-time or more income. And so what you want to do, for example, for me, I had a full-time job. I worked as a programmer for IBM and then for TELUS. And for me, my Monday to Friday, from morning to like 5, 6 p.m. was my work. So I knew for me, the best time to do my business was after work and on weekends, right? And however, I also made use of the time that when I had breaks during my work or I had a lunch break, guess what I was doing? I was trying to set up appointments for the evening time or for the weekends. So it does help to create a structure for yourself. And the one thing that I do want to remind people is really this business doesn't have to happen at the times that you pick on this calendar. I do this business every day throughout the day. Whoever I talk to, I've got brochures to hand out to people. If I'm going golfing, I'm handing out my brochure. I'm going to events, I'm talking to people. I'm always talking to somebody and creating a conversation with them to, again, and that's what we call income generating activities. All right. So your daily method of operation really has 5 steps. Okay. Step one is someone to connect. So in this case here, there's 5 different things you can be doing. In your back office, under the team volume report, you can actually see who in your organization is generating volume for you, which means they bought product. You can actually see who buys product every single day. And you can actually be able to, for our lifestyle director ones or hires, they actually have access to be able to see these people and actually call them through the website and thank these people for their orders. So if you have 20 people that place orders today, at the very least, hey, why not call those 20 people? You might not know them. So, hey, so and so, my name is Rene Liaw. I'm probably one of your my five, uplines in Opulence Global Business here. I just want to call you, thank you so much for your order. Is there anything that I might be able to help you with, or give you more information with, or do some training? I'm here for you. Again, just do those calls and imagine what you might do with your business just by thanking your current orders, right? At the same time, number two is welcome. You can see who's actually launching their business and launching packages. If you're not busy, or you're thinking, well, who do I talk to, to do these income generating activities? All these things, by the way, count as IGAs. Why not, pick up the dialer tool, call these people, say, hey, my name is Rene Liaw. I saw that you just launched your business with Opulence Global. I want to call you, say, welcome to the family. And if at any point you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Let's create your My Five. You want to have that conversation, because these are your people. These are the people that are generating CV for you, and you get paid on CV. Okay. Number three is to constantly be prospecting and making appointments. So aside from thanking your new orders, welcoming your new partners, you want to be also prospecting and making new appointments. One of the things that I always believe in is, in order for me to be able to teach, for example, my team how to prospect and how to sell products, well, I better be able to do it first. I always believe in walking the talk, leading by example, and the whole idea of you know um, you know the whole idea of do as I say but don't do as I do, that doesn't work for me. I have to be able to do it myself and show that it works. And the same thing applies for you, right? So you always want to be prospecting and making new appointments, going to new events, joining new clubs, and putting yourself again in situations where you can meet a lot of people, do trade shows. Perhaps you want to do some cold calls, call the naturopaths, call the hair salons, call the beauty salons, because we have products again that fit all these different categories, right? And the fourth thing you want to do is try to rank advance. Obviously, you want to have as many leaders and ranked partners in your business. And again, to lead by example, we must first advance rank to create that inspiration for others to follow suit as well, right? So again, and all these things are part of step one. Step two, of course, is something to say. If you're not sure, because maybe you're brand new and you're not sure what to say to somebody about whether it's the products or the business, we have an amazing script, and a book called the Prosperity Book. And you can actually find this whole entire PowerPoint, by the way, in your back office. And in this PowerPoint, it has all of the scripts that you can actually use. For me, one of my most favorite scripts that I always use, I'm going to show you right now. So I'm actually going to grab a copy of my brochure here. Okay, I love to use personally the Fountain of Life brochure. I find that it's a product that just, is very easy to sort of market, kind of opens the door for me. And after that, I can lead to other products with this other Safe Home Revolution book afterwards. But I like to start with Fountain of Life. It's simple, it's one product, right? And I always love to, whenever I'm going anywhere, buying donuts, well, I don't eat donuts, but buying food, or, buying lunch, anyone that I pass by, think about this, right? You pass by so many people on a daily basis. You may never see them again, and they might never see you again, and they might not even care about who you are ever again because you never met. Why not take the opportunity to potentially, again, plant those seeds, plant a lot of seeds, and just offer somebody, you know what, thank you for your service. Can I give you one of these? Can I give you this? And they'll ask, well, what is this? And that now gives you a chance to talk about, well, do you know what lignans are and their antioxidants and how many, fruits and vegetables there are in just 10 drops, and look at all the amazing scientific studies that we have on what this product can do, right? So it might take me like less than 60 seconds, 60 seconds uh, in going over this, but it takes me literally 1 second to offer somebody, can I give you this? And of course, you're going to have your name at the back of it, right? But that is planting a seed. You never know where that might take you. So here's the thing. I can guarantee you one thing. If you don't talk to somebody about your business or hand out brochures, they will never know about this. There's 0% chance of you getting anything if you don't mention it. But if you were to offer somebody this brochure, at least you have a chance of getting new business. And you'd be surprised, right? As long as you're nice about it and you have a good attitude and you're very positive, if you were to hand out, let's say, on a daily basis, 20 brochures, because for me, that's a good goal. Hand out 20 brochures in one day. When you get good at this, most likely you'll have a lot of interest from those 20 people. And from those 20 brochures, you will at least probably sell at least one bottle of Fountain of Life, which more than pays for the cost of your brochures, right? But it's not about the cost that matters. It's about the fact that you're putting yourself in ample situations to be able to share with somebody. I want to recognize some of the new people that I've been seeing in the business, Ace and Lewis and Joel and their team. These guys, they are not shy about sharing this product with everybody because it's helped them so much, and they're just not shy about it, right? Their mindset is, what? I had the greatest thing in the world. I'm going to share it with you. If you say no, thank you, that's your loss. Because truly and really, every single person in the world needs to be on this product. If you have that belief, you will never feel like you're trying to sell someone something. You will feel like you're trying to help someone because you have the best darn thing that's better than water, even. All right. So that's the kind of mindset that you want to have. So that's my script. Can I give you this? And then I let it go with it afterwards, right? I use a brochure. Step three, of course, is someone to present to. So you want to use, of course, your tour presentation. I did it last night with our LD4 IFRA. Every Monday night, by the way, at 9 p.m., me and IFRA and Reza, we actually will rotate doing the actual business presentation. On Wednesday night, which is actually going to be tomorrow night, we have another, presentation as well too. And number four, of course, is to have infinite follow-up and asking for referrals. How many of you have customers that you ask? Again, so these customers are your customers because they believe in the product, right? Well, have you asked these people if they could refer one or two people to you? And if you haven't done that, like, why not? They are already your customers, right? Why wouldn't you go and ask them if they can refer just one or two people that might benefit from this product? Okay. And of course, infinite follow-up. Just because you sell a bottle or you sell a family pack, you want to remember it's not about a one-time sale. Just one thing that I hope you can really take home today is that don't be that person that does a one-time sale and somehow you expect for that person to call you back because I don't know, right? Please don't be that person. Be the person who cares about your customers. So after they buy the product, you're going to keep track of who bought your product. You're going to send them a message every now and then just to check in and share some more amazing testimonials. Again, if you run this business like a proper business, you have proper systems, proper follow up, there is no way you will not succeed in this business. Okay. And step five, of course, is to duplicate. And you do that by you being on this call and you inviting your team to be on these calls, right? If your whole entire team is getting this training, imagine what can happen for your whole entire business, right? But if it's just you in this training and your 20 partners are not here, then you have to go and try to train these 20 partners yourself. But isn't it easier just to invite everyone onto the company calls, right? So the company calls have to become like a really important thing that you always hop on and you never miss these calls, okay? So you can see now, of course, here, talking about someone to connect to. we kind of talked about this already, is to build yourself a very strong customer list. And again, the example that I give to people is when you go to, let's say, the dentist, right? Or your doctor, you always have receptionists, and behind them, or even your optometrist, they have a wall full of files, and every file is someone's name, right? And the job of the receptionist is to simply go and call each person. They don't care if this customer wants to book an appointment or doesn't want to book an appointment. They are not attached to the outcome. All they're there for is to simply call one by one by one by one by one to see who wants to come in for an appointment. And if that's sort of your mentality in this business, that you're not attached to the outcome of someone saying yes, no, maybe, blah, 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 you know what? You're going to thrive very well in this business because again, you have the right mindset. Okay. So um, here is what we call a memory jogger to help you think about who you can add to your initial list. Now, when you make your list, you do want to identify what we call your VIP list. These are the people who are like, they would be perfect for the business, perfect for the product. They could be previous networking contacts, people in other businesses, could be qualified family and friends. Qualified meaning they're not like, your uncle who will hate on you no matter what you do, or your dad. Like my dad was very negative. I shouldn't have approached him. He was very negative. So again, qualified mean people who are very open and supportive of your business, and maybe of course advertising leads. Then think about, right, who is your accountant? Who's your bank officer? Who's your carpet cleaner, congressperson, dry cleaner, florist, hairstylist, insurance agent, mechanic, minister, rabbi, priest, photographer, travel agent, or when's the last time that was a service buddy for you? Who'd you go to school with? Was your teacher, professor, your old boss? Went with you to the beach or owns a restaurant? In short, the way that I would summarize this is every single person that is in your phone book. On your phone, you have so many contacts. Every single person counts to call from your phone book. Why? Because at some point in time, you knew that person. And if you're feeling a bit awkward on how to call someone back again, it's simple. Let's say I go to my phone book, right? And I'm going from alphabetical here, and I see someone called, Abelis. I forgot who they are, honestly, right? But below their name is Abba. So I might call Abba this and say, I was looking for another friend called Abma, and I saw your name. I thought, I forgot who you were, but I want to give you a call and just say who this is and say hello. And then, that is another way of getting back into a conversation. Just say that you want to catch up and see what's going on with you because it's been such a long time and you just saw their phone number in your contacts. Simple, simple, simple. Okay. Again, some more ideas. Who lives next door? Is your tutors for your children, your best man, your usher, maid of honor, bridesmaid, babysitter's parents, friends on Facebook or IG, who's related to your parents, grandparents, family, so relatives, who sold your boat, car, carpet, commuter. And there's so many things to think about. But again, anyone that's in your phone book is essentially should be in your list of people to contact, right? And now, of course, one of the key things when you're trying to talk to people is not rush the process and take your time. Don't dive into the business because you sound like you're just selling something, unless, of course, you're confident enough that that person understands you and they know that because you want to share what's so powerful that they don't mind you just leading off the bat with that principle, right? But otherwise, what you want to do is find their pain point. And the pain point simply means what is their motivation. So you can identify challenges or desires that your Opulence products or business opportunities can address, right? Use to resonate with your audience. So if you're talking to somebody, and I would just ask them things like, how's it going? How's work? How's the family? How's the kids? How's the parents? How's the siblings? Any plans for holidays? The usual basic kind of questions. You might be able to identify already some of their pain points. They might say to you, well, you know what? I would really love to go and travel, but I just don't have the funds right now. I don't have the time. Aha, we now know they don't have enough time or money. If they tell you, well, I love to travel, but my knees give me a lot of pain. I can't really be on the airplane. Aha, pain point, we found that they have knee pain, right? To share with you a quick testimonial, I had a gentleman that reached out to me. He heard about Fountain of Life, and he was saying to me, Renee, I heard that this product here might be helpful with my issues. I have arthritis and I have knee pain. We met up. He bought a family pack of Fountain of Life. And I saw him at this golf tournament just last week on Friday, last Friday. And at the dinner time, he comes up, he's like, Renee, get over here and give me a hug. I'm like, sure, why not? I love giving hugs, right? And so he goes, Renee, I gotta thank you so much. I've never felt better in my life. My knee pain is gone, arthritis gone. He started telling everyone at my table about how amazing this product is, right? So once again, you can identify their challenge or their pain point. Because here's the secret, right? You can't sell someone a shovel if they're not trying to dig a hole. Does that make sense? You can't sell someone a shovel if they're not trying to dig a hole. So oftentimes, we believe we have this beautiful, shiny, golden shovel. It's flexible, it can lift up 1,000,000 pounds, and everyone's going to want to buy it. But the person does not need it. They don't feel they need it, or they aren't trying to dig a hole. In other words, if you can have the best product in the world, but the smarter way is to find out first if they have an issue or a pain. And the reality is that almost everybody has some kind of a health issue, right? Or they want to stay healthy. So that's where, if you can just talk a little bit more first, take your time and get to know more about them. Because as I always say, right, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I taught this at the last boot camp. When you're talking to people, you don't want to have the feeling that you are chasing them, that you're trying to shove something down their throat. That never works in any kind of business, right? The feeling that you want to have is that you create curiosity. And I always say this, right? The curiosity, where curiosity is like your absolute most best friend you can ever have, the best friend you can ever have, right? The more curiosity you can create, now you're actually drawing this invisible rope and you're slowly pulling that person towards you. That's the feeling that you want to have with this whole idea of identifying their pain points first. Because once they tell you again that they have a pain point, could be lack of money, lack of time, you know, uh, a health issue, a skin issue, cholesterol, blood pressure, who knows what, right? And everyone has at least three pain points. Not enough money, okay, not enough time, and not enough good health. Everyone wants those three things: more time, more money, and more health. And if you can identify by just having a conversation and have them share with you one of these three pain points, now you can say, you know what, you were mentioning to me before that you have this issue with, with your knee. And by the way, there's this product out there that you should really try. In fact, my friend had knee pain and arthritis, and he used this product and the pain went away. Now, what am I doing here? I'm creating curiosity. Did I even mention the product's name? Not yet. And they'll ask me, well, Renee, what's this product called? So have you heard of this amazing thing called Fountain of Life? No, what is it? Well, have you heard of what's called lignans before? Right? So I'm asking all these questions, and guess what I'm doing? I'm creating curiosity. Well, what's lignans? Well, lignans you actually eat on a daily basis in all your fruits and all your vegetables and all your seeds, nuts, coffee, tea, wine, and beer. They're plant antioxidants. However, they are so micro amounts. And in short, our scientists actually found the world's most potent source. It came from this Norwegian spruce tree. And guess what? This tree, you could cut the branch off, but that branch on the floor wouldn't even die. It would keep on growing back a new layer. Again, creating more curiosity here, right? And so, what I love to tell people, by the way, since we're on this topic of what to say, right? I love telling people that, when you go to a Shoppers or Walmart or your nutrition stores and you want to buy these health products that, of course, are Health Canada approved, they usually only have level 1 or level 2 NPN number, which means you cannot make claims. But guess what, right? Fountain of Life, this product here, it's remarkable. It has a level 3 NPN number, which means that all these things that it says it can do, it actually does do. It's so, so special, right? And so I would just read off, some of the things that it can do. And usually, when you're talking about things like, for example, okay, it can protect your heart health, reduce breast cancer risk, impact menopausal symptoms, protect your DNA, defend against dementia, against Alzheimer's disease, autism, your prostate health, your hair health, diabetes, your gut-brain axis, your body weight, the fatty liver. At this point in time, usually by then, they've said, wow, really? It helps with that? Aha, I now know what to focus on because they said, oh, it helps with cholesterol. Yes, it actually does. It can actually help you to lower your LDL, raise your HDL. We have so many testimonials to share with you. And this is where again, you want to share a lot of testimonials. Again, testimonials create more of that wow, that curiosity, right? So again, that's the great thing about understanding. Because I could do the same spiel I just did, but if I did it without understanding what was their pain point first, it wouldn't be as effective as me understanding first they have knee pain or they're losing their hair or they're overweight or they have back pain, and then I share this with a third party story. So always use the tools, always have the product with you. I always love to share a third party story, and which is a testimonial. Okay, so product, brochure, and testimonial. So, am I going too fast, everybody? Let me get a little bit of some liquid into my body here. I hope you guys are all enjoying this training. I hope it's. I love to do training that's really like hands-on and can help you guys because I struggled a lot myself personally, by the way, with trying to prospect and understanding how to prospect really well. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you for your comments, guys. And let's keep on going. Okay, let's keep on going here. So, turn single product customers into multi-product households. So it would be a shame if all you did was just sell one product and you left it at that. What you always want to do after they become a customer of the Fountain of Life is try to create the next meeting and go over the rest of the product. Because again, the Fountain of Life is also in our shampoo, body wash, and conditioner. It's in our day cream and our night cream. It's in our sterling lotion, right? So you want to definitely talk about these other products here. Why? Because instead of them buying just one product from you, they might have their whole household buying multiple products from you. So oftentimes you might go into the Apple store to buy the iPhone, but they might sell you the phone case and a Bluetooth AirPods, and then they might want to sell you, some wristband when you're jogging. Like they're always trying to sell other products, right? Okay. So, that one of the best things to do here is to understand what drives your customers to make decisions or take actions related to your product or service. For example, are they motivated by convenience, cost savings, status, or personal full excuse me, or personal fulfillment. Okay, but in short, the whole idea here is just to try to understand your customer a bit more, and then you can be able to customize what offerings you want to give to them, right? And if they want to, for example, have a better status, you might want to show them the fashion. If it's about personal fulfillment, then maybe you want to offer them more of the personal care line, right? So it's really all about that. So one other thing that can really help you is to define your target customers by demographics. So understanding key characteristics like age, gender, income level, location, interest, and tailoring your products to that audience. So if you have a younger audience and like moderate income, you probably don't want to be promoting, for example, your $3,000 timepiece. You might want to start with the $300 timepiece from Posh and use the Posh line because young people probably might not care about being on the Fountain of Life, although they might have someone that they know that can benefit from this, right? However, if you have people that are more mature and higher income people, then you can highlight the fairy and fairy mosh for the luxury appeal, right? And usually the more mature people tend to be a bit older and they usually have more health problem. So the fountain of life and divine and the safe home revolution would be a very ideal product to share with them. Okay. And so look at the lifestyles, align values and buying behaviors with your offerings. Like, so for example, people that care about their dental health share the Fairy Microsilver. For athletes, you might want to share with them Divine. Divine is fantastic for healing your body and like for muscle pain and just your overall body's immune system. For your eye health, your brain health, all those things, right? For someone who's very, very fashionable and loves fashion, I would focus on Posh and Fairy, right? You're going to be buying fashion anyways. Why not buy fashion that is can promote you and can make you some extra income, right? And if they're engaged in community engagement activists, like they love doing, community work, then, highlight the Opulence Cares program, and show how, with this business, you can help so many people out there, right? So now looking at your hot shot list and inviting your top 7 people, right? These are your closest contacts who think like you, they act like you. In other words, if you're on this call, you're most likely very caring about health, and probably you're driven, you're motivated, you want to make money to change your life, right? So they think like you, they act like you, they have the same work ethics like you. These are again your star 7, right? They're hardworking, they are determined, they want to change their life. They're tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And they will do whatever it takes to get that change just like you, right? You will not give up. You committed, you put the stake in the ground. I'm going to build this thing for 5 years and become a master of it because work hard for 5 years and take the next 50 off is our concept. And they won't give up or quit just because of something small happens, right? And, really important, in my last 18 years of being in this company, there have been many times that I could have said, you know what, I'm done. Not because of anything with the company per se, but sometimes you meet bad people, you meet rude people, you have issues here and there. Life just can throw a million curveballs at you. But to me, it never made sense to stop. And here's why. I knew my lifestyle before I got into Opulence Global and I started making money. Why would I stop that and then go back to the lifestyle that I didn't want to have? And that's why I got started in the first place, right? So just because you have a bad day, just don't forget where you were before. And if you don't do this, then what else are you going to do? Right? There's not many opportunities. It's so hard to find opportunities like Opulence Global that has the products that we have, that has the leadership, the company, the support, the system, the customer service, the testimonials and the leadership, and the compensation plan. It's such a rare opportunity, right? And so never ever quit. Remove that word quit. You will not quit. Winners don't quit and quitters don't win, right? Never quit, never stop, right? If you're having a bad day, you know what? Ask your mindset to give you a kick in the butt and get you going again, right? And Sanaz during our boot camp gave a great example, right? Um, what does she say? She says, what was her example? Um, I'll just think of a different example, right? So, for example, she goes, do you guys have one of these things here, right? Everyone has a cell phone, yes? Okay. What happens if you don't charge your cell phone? Well, the cell phone dies. Can't use it, right? And she says, we are like our cell phones. We need to be charged because so many things can drain our battery, right? You have a crappy day at work, your boss is a moron, you had an argument with your spouse or with your family or your friend, something happened, right? Your tire blew up. Like, there's a million things that will drain your battery, right? You have to stay charged. How do you stay charged? You get on these training calls, right? You be around people that are going to support you and help you to get you where you want to be. You're going to, watch motivational and personal development videos to change your mindset, change the blueprint of your mind. Because once you can change that blueprint that has been, uh, you know, created for you since the day you were born, and it might be a poor mindset. Once you can rewrite the blueprint of your mindset by watching enough personal development and motivational videos, boy oh boy, nothing can stop you. But you gotta stay charged, okay? You gotta stay charged. So, moving along here, right? Engage with your target customers. So remember, right? Conversations lead to actions. So get creative with questions that spark meaningful discussions and could potentially result in new VIP shoppers or team partners, right? Here are some great conversation starters. Okay, so some more examples. I like to say, can I give you this? Here's some more examples, right? Do you enjoy bulk shopping with massive discounts? Yeah, who wouldn't? Well, you know what? We gotta chat, right? How would you feel about tax-free shopping or access to high quality, safe products, right? Of course, I would love to have tax-free shopping. You know, um, are you dealing with any kind of pain right now? Yeah, well, you know what? I gotta talk to you about that. Are you suffering from any kind of health concerns or health conditions? Yeah, I have this, but you know what? We've got to talk about that, right? So there's so many things that can spark the conversation. Again, I love to see people, can I give you this brochure? And they just fly with that too, right? Another, by the way, a huge script that I used to use a lot, especially if you live in Canada or in the United States, is, hey, by the way, do you hate paying taxes? Because everyone hates paying taxes, right? And a lot of people are not taught in schools that by having yourself your own home-based business, you can actually write off your expenses towards your business and lower your personal taxes, right? So I used to always use that tax strategy to lead into why they had to have a business. And let me show you a business that can help you get those tax savings. It's Opulence Global. Okay. Now, some more approach scripts, right? Hi, John or Jane, whatever it is. Just curious, would you be open to checking out this luxury fashion brand or a cool new way to get paid to shop or some amazing health and personal care products that I want to bring into the country? Right? Maybe you don't live in Canada, right? And you want to be the first person to go and expand our products into your country. Say that, you know what? I found some incredible products, and would you be open to checking out these amazing products that I want to bring into the country? I would love to get your opinion on it, right? The whole asking for the opinion approach, right, is another way of, again, doing some prospecting, okay? Or the last one here, I want to get some feedback because I'm thinking of distributing these high-end products into this country and creating another extra income stream. You know me, right? Make more money. And I want to see if you're just open to taking a look at what I'm putting together here. Boom, easy, right? And the more that you do this, the smoother it becomes and the more it's going to fly off your lips, all right? Um, Again, some other scripts here. Hi, prospect. I came across an amazing opportunity that combines financial freedom and luxury living. It's exactly the kind of next level lifestyle that we like. It's something new. It could be life changing. Are you open to taking a quick look? I'd love to share a lot more. Again, right? Everyone has what they sound like. You don't have to read the script like word for word, right? You can make it sound like how it's going to sound like coming from you because you know what you sound like, right? Okay. So personally, I don't like scripts that are too long because I can't memorize this. Unless, of course, I'm calling someone on the phone and I have this in front of me and they can't see me reading the script. Otherwise, I like to do things face to face that is simple, right? Can I give you this? And honestly, using the tools is the easiest way to help you do that, okay? So for me, the shorter, the better, okay? So here are some really cool approach tips you can always keep in mind. Number one is to become and always be very warm and inviting. Keep it short. I just told you, keep it short and personal, and always address people by their first name, right? I love it when you meet someone, you give them a handshake, perhaps give them a hug, or you shake their hand and you put your hand like on top of their hand and say, it's nice to meet you today. Like keeping it warm and genuine and caring is always a great thing to do. Number two, right? Build curiosity. We talked about that word so much tonight, creating curiosity. And the way that you can really build more connections is to make the conversation about them. Focus on them. It could be financial freedom, luxury, exclusivity, and spark interest without revealing too much. Okay. So, and three, have effective communication. So, end with a question that's easy to say yes. So, for example, if I was talking to somebody and we had back and forth conversation, and we've already talked about this already, right? Perhaps I want to go over more information with them. I might ask them, oh, by the way, I would love to get together with you for a coffee, maybe go for dinner, on me, and share with you some more crazy information about this product, like testimonials and studies. Would Tuesday night be good for you, or is Saturday afternoon better? So it's important that you only offer two options, because if you ask somebody, when are you going to be available? Like, is next week good for you? Everyone's week is so wide open and there's so many things going on. It's better you offer people two choices because they can pick A or B, right? One or two. Um, Saying what is your time next week is just way too vague and way too random. Okay. And also, if they remain unavailable, let's say they tell you, I know it's really busy for me those 2 days, I can't make it that week. They can say, well, ask for the following week, right? Say, well, would the following week be good for you? And if you get the feeling that they're just trying to like push you off, don't push it. Never chase somebody ever, 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 and just follow up at some time again in the future. Okay. One of the things that, by the way, I love to do when I'm prospecting is I love to get people's phone numbers. And I find the easiest way to get someone's phone number is to ask them. So, you know what? I would love to share with you the e-copy of this brochure and some more studies and some more testimonials. Is there do you use WhatsApp? I can just send you a few links to watch. Yeah, sure, right? And if you were warm and you were inviting and you build that curiosity, you have effective communication, they're going to give you their phone number, okay? And that will allow you now to do the infinite follow-up, okay? Of course, now that you've booked that presentation, so again, just to be clear here, sometimes people try to do the presentation during the approach, Eh, eh, right? Um, you can keep giving answers to their question. And for me, that's okay to do when it comes to the product. That's okay. But oftentimes, if you know that you're going to be in a rush and a scramble, you just want to kind of pique their curiosity and then try to schedule a meeting. Now, especially if they want to talk about the business, never try to explain the business like just over a random conversation. You know, every proper corporation in the world has a boardroom, they have a meeting room, they have a PowerPoint because it's been proven that's the most effective way of getting the information across, right? So, especially when it comes to booking a business presentation, the best thing to do is to schedule them for a meeting, okay? So now, one of the things that's going to be very important along this process is to tell your story. At some point in time, your prospect will ask you, well, why are you doing this? Or they might even ask you, but you still need to share with them your story. Okay. So let's talk about crafting your 2-minute story. Now, remember, it doesn't say crafting your 20-minute story or your 20-second story, right? It's roughly about 2 minutes long. Okay. And your 2-minute story should consist of the following things. Number one is, when did you launch your business, right? So for me, for example, okay, let's run through this. I'll give you my own story, right? So number one, when did you launch your business, right? It could have been a few weeks, days, months, or years. Number two, why did you start your business? Was it for more money, less stress? You hate your job, more time with the family, make the world a healthier place? What was it that you wanted to do and why did you join? Number three, who introduced you to the business? Was it your friends? Was it your family? Was it social media? Okay, number four is to have yourself ready a product testimonial. People want to see that the product actually worked for you. Okay. Now, if you haven't done this yet, I would suggest get a piece of paper right now and start writing this stuff down, okay? Sorry, excuse me here. Awesome. I'll tell you guys, I had a great day. I went to golfing in the morning. I had like 9 pars in a row and a birdie in between was just epic. So I shot 40 on the front nine, um, but then I kind of blew up in the very end. Then I went to eat lunch with my wife. We went to Costco. We bought some more stuff, for the family. Then I picked up my son, and I was helping my son train for about, an hour for tennis. Came home, had dinner, and then I went out for a tennis match in my own league, and I won 6-1, 6-2 or 6-1. And so, and mind you, I've been using a lot of Fountain of Life and Divine. It just helps your body just from breaking down, right? Imagine how much I'm doing in one day. And then also throughout the whole entire day, I've been prospecting. I'm prospecting the golf cart girl, the new golfer that I was with, people at the tennis court, right? So I'm always talking to people. Okay, back to this though. So create your own 2 minute story. So mine might sound like, so I actually got started in Opulence Global about 18 years ago, October 20th, 2007. And, the main reason why I wanted to get started was because even though I had a pretty good income at TELUS, $80,000 a year, it wasn't enough to create for me the lifestyle that I wanted to have. I wanted to have more money. I hated my job. I hated my boss. It was so stressful. And I knew at one point in time, I was single back then, but I knew in the future I would want to have more time with my family that I have today with Rex and Leon, and with Heidi. And of course, I love to help people and see people improve. And that's why I love Opulence Global and their health products, right? And it was actually my sister, Monica, who introduced me to this business. And just over the last 18 years, I went from making $80,000 per year. I've had months of making, $100,000 plus in one month. My team that I had brought in was about 225 people, give or take, 250 people, and it's grown to over 30,000 people in over 120 countries. And again, this system, it just pays me every single week, every single day when someone orders product, I'm actually getting paid for that. And so, that's my 2 minute story. Now, of course, I can drag it on a lot longer, but the whole idea, though, of course, of this 2 minute story is to create more curiosity, right? Now, mind you, my story didn't sound like this 18 years ago, right? So here was my story when I got started 18 years ago, okay? So I just started my business actually last month, so I'm pretty brand new. And I got started again because I'm paying so much in taxes. I hate my job. I hate my work, hate my boss. I know that this job won't give me the lifestyle that I want to have. And my sister, who's also a senior programmer working at IBM, she saw this business and she thought it was amazing. She's a smart person. So because of her, I decided to come and take a look at this. When we sat down and saw this business, we were just amazed with everything about it. And already, I've been doing it for about 1 month. And already, I'm seeing amazing changes with the product. And more importantly, I've already made a few $100s just doing this part time on the side. But I can see myself with this business making a few $1,000s per month and being able to quit my job. And that's why I want to share this with you because I think it's so amazing. I think you'll love to see this. So that was kind of like my story that I had again 18 years ago. It was only fashion back then. Emajit knows that, right? So, you have to craft your story. And one tip is to make your story try to relate to your customer. So sometimes like 18 years ago, I would meet people who were like married, they had children, and there could be a single mom with kids, but I was a single dude, right? So our stories don't really connect together. But I try to let them know that, what, one day in the future, I want to have a family like what you have. And I want to make sure that I have enough time and money to spend with my family, travel the world, go on vacations, be there for my son's, first diaper change and, bottle feed him and change his diapers and see his first walking. I want to be there when that happens. And that's why I'm doing this business, right? So even though I might not be like them, I can try to, create a story because that is true and it relates more to the person I'm speaking with, right? if I'm talking to someone who's like, 85 years old, already retired, right? Then, for me, I would say, well, for me, I want to make sure that I stay young and healthy and can create a great retirement income for myself and not be stressed about retirement. So you can kind of customize your 2 minute story, right? So, you know what? I'm going to pause here because this next part is about in-person tour presentation tips. And there's a lot to cover here. I don't think in 5 minutes or less I can actually cover this properly. And I want to make sure that I can leave some time for some questions and answers. So I would say, first of all, thank you so much to our amazing host, as always, for hosting me today. Thank you, guys. We have a jam-packed call tonight. I'm so glad to see all of you guys here. Thank you for being here and for joining me in tonight's training call. I hope that I was able to leave some sort of golden nuggets for you too. And I'll turn the call back to our wonderful host. And of course, as always, one dream, one team to the billion. Sandra, back to you.
I'm here. Hi, everyone. So, like I've mentioned earlier a couple times in the chat, any questions, please throw them out there in the Q&A box, or yeah, or let me know in the chat. No problem. I'm sure everybody took multiple notes, like I did again every single time. You know, with Rene, he makes it sound so natural. He's a natural, leading by example. Yeah, there's our example. So if anybody has, yeah, lots of fun. If anybody has any question for Rene, please go ahead. We still have a few minutes before I go through the announcements. I'm excited about those too. We have new ones. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just lots
Oh,
of.
you're welcome, everybody.
So yeah. So guys, you know what? Go out there. Let's do the same. Let's go out. Continue leading by example. And you know what? I love, love, love what you mentioned. The hotshot list. you know, let's all maybe commit to go out there, look for people that think like us, that act like us, that show the same work ethic as us. That may be hard, but you know what? They're there. We could find our rock star. We could find a shining star anywhere. If you're one, you'll recognize one. So let's just go out there and pay a bit more attention, and I'm sure we could find our hot shot list. That's my biggest takeaway tonight. Actually, I love that, but you know, I do have lots of.
Actually, I saw a question come in that I thought I'd just respond here.
Okay.
It was from Rowena asking for, is there a tip on closing the sale kind of idea? Um, and we do have a fantastic asking for the close training by one of our trainers before. I'm going to try to find that right now and send you the link to that training. I'm just trying to think of where I put it right now. Um, one second here. There's a great training that I think you should all definitely watch here. I have the link here I saved here. Just trying to get it here. I'm gonna put it into, here we go, closing training. Okay, this is a great training that's about closing, and I hope that you can all watch it at some point in time. Sandra, I did put the link for the Always Be Closing training for those who want to go and watch it. I did put the link in the group chat already, all right?
Lovely. Okay, so everybody make sure to copy it. So when we click on this, Rene, it goes to another, where does it go?
Yeah, it's a Google Drive, a document to the
Okay.
PowerPoint training, basically.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
let's hit that, everybody, and go check it out.
Well, I'll post it one more
Right?
time here for everybody. There we go.
Oh, okay. Found it. Oh, okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody. As always, thank you, Sandra, as well, too. Have a great evening or morning. And yeah, one team, one dream, one system to the
Absolutely.
billion.
Yeah. So one team, one dream, one system, everybody, to the billion. Thank you
Okay.
very much for
Bye,
showing up
everybody. Good night,
tonight.
good night. Bye-bye.
Appreciate your time. Have
You,
a
you as
good
well. Thank you.
night. See you Saturday morning.